Listen to that. That is not just rain. That noise right there, that is the exact moment your stomach drops through the floorboards. That is the sound of someone testing your door handles at 3 AM in the dark in the industrial estate in Birmingham. In this life, you either build a fortress or you accept one day you're going to wake up with a bloody knife to your face and your entire life just driving away without you. So how I sleep through the night without worrying about the knock isn't about luck. It's about the 5-layer physiological trap. And today I'm going to show you how I'm going to turn my rig into an absolute black hole for thieves. So let's stop taking the piss now. The van life community on Instagram loves to talk about the freedom, but they never talk about the paralysing paranoia. They don't tell you what it feels like to lie in there in the freezing cold, holding your breath, listening to 2 blokes whispering outside your sliding door. Meanwhile, the dog starts to growl in the dark. Now, I've been full-time in the UK for 3 years now. I run a high-performance 12-volt system and a full PlayStation gaming setup in here. Now, to a professional thief, my van isn't a home. It's a Christmas selection box on wheels. So if they get in, they ain't just taking your laptop, they're taking my livelihood, my sanity, and they are endangering Rowan. Now, most people think security is about buying just a steering wheel lock and hoping for the best. Well, it's not. If a thief has a battery-powered angle grinder and they cut through that standard security in 60 seconds, the secret to surviving full-time stealth parking isn't just stopping them physically, it's messing with their heads before they even touch a handle. Now, I'm going to show you the exact 5-layer setup I'm going to be putting in my new windowless Luton box van, including one physiological trick that makes them walk away without even pulling a tool out. Before we even talk about heavy steel deadbolts, we need to talk about layer 0, visual deception. Now, this is the stuff that amateurs miss. Thieves are lazy bastards. They want high reward and low risk. If they see a pristine, unbranded Mercedes Sprinter with a fancy Max roof fan and a tidy matching ladder, they think camper, laptops, cash, easy target. Look at this, a cracked clipboard and a filthy high vis on the dash. In my new Luton build, the cab is going to look like tired, broke builders run around. I want them to look through the windscreen and think, nothing in there but empty tins of paint and some old raw plugs, not worth the prison time. So security starts before they even know you're sleeping inside. If your rig screams expensive tiny home, you've already lost half the battle. Right, let's get straight into the actual physical layers. So once they walk past the window and decide to actually touch the van, you need to buy yourself a bit of time and make some serious noise. This brings me to layer 1, the visual and physical blockers. Now, I always start with the bulletproof classic, the visual deterrent. A heavy-duty steering wheel lock. You can see it glowing from about 10 paces away through the windscreen. So when the thief shines his torch through the window into the cab, that yellow bar tells them instantly that the van isn't just a quick getaway. Forces them to realise they have to spend 5 minutes making sparks fly just to turn the wheel. But honestly, a steering wheel lock is just the appetizer for me. The main course is underneath. I'm going to use a pedal lock specifically designed to enclose your brakes and your clutch. So this right here is the ultimate startup blocker. Even if a thief somehow manages to hotwire the ignition or clone your key fob, which is happening constantly with these modern keyless entry vans, they physically cannot drive away. You can't put it into gear and you can't stop it from rolling. It's heavy, it's incredibly awkward to get into, and thieves absolutely hate them because they require loud power tools and serious time to remove. Time is the one luxury they do not have. Yes, it's a bit of a faff to put it on every night or every morning when you're knackered and it's freezing cold, but the peace of mind is worth its weight in gold, surely. My strategy for this new Luton build is a massive step up from a standard panel van. Now, I'm building a windowless fortress. I'm sealing up back roller shutter door completely. It will be a cab entry only layout. No sliding doors on the pavement side, no massive rear doors for them to easily pry open with a bloody scaffold pole, but you still have to secure the perimeter. Now, this brings me to layer number 2. For any external doors, whether that's a side door of a standard van or the reinforced access door I'm putting behind the cab in the Luton, you're going to need a full heavy-duty deadbolts. These aren't just your cheap, flimsy B&Q shed locks. These are visual and physical fortress locks. They bolt straight to the metal chassis of your door You see these mounted on the outside of a van and the owner is dead serious. It screams, keep on walking, mate. But let's say if they don't walk away, what if they're really determined? Maybe they've seen you loading some expensive gear and they decide to go for the obvious weak points, the factory locks. This is where layer 3 comes in. And this is obviously crucial for all your panel van owners out there. Stealth security plates. So the oldest trick in the book for van thieves in the UK is the peel and steal, or just taking the drill bit from straight under the door handle to hit the locking cable. It takes literally seconds, barely any noise, and pops all the doors open. Now these stealth security plates stop from drilling your doors entirely. They act as like a solid, impenetrable steel shield that goes over vulnerable factory mechanisms inside the skin of your door. Now, for a few quid, it's the best insurance policy you can possibly buy. By the way, all the gear I'm talking about today, the exact models that I trust, are linked down in the description. Without buying. Right then, before we get to the high-tech side of the setup, I want to hear from you lot. So drop a comment down below right now. What's the van life mistake or security slip-up that ended up costing you a fortune? Did you forget to lock the cab? Did you park somewhere dodgy and pay the price? Or you just had a close call that scared the absolute life out of you? Let me know down in the comments. Let's have a proper talk about this down there, so the new builders don't make the same brutal mistakes that we did. Layer number 4, the tech shield. This is where we bring the rig into the 21st century. Remember, I am running a full PlayStation gaming setup for 12-volt system in here. Now, to a scumbag, this van isn't just transport. It's high-value tech vault. So that means I need eyes and ears on the outside. So on the outside, 24/7. I'm talking about proper hardwired CCTV systems for your vans. So when I'm lying in my bed and I hear a suspicious noise on the outside, footsteps that stop right next to the van, I don't want to be opening the blackout blind or peeking through the window like a frightened little rabbit. That instantly gives away that someone is inside and lets them know they've rattled you. Instead, just roll over, check my phone or the dedicated monitor. I can see exactly what's happening outside in the pitch black thanks to these infrared night vision. So if someone is sniffing around the back doors, I'll know about it before they even touch the paintwork. Now I run all this off my solar setup, so it's always recording. And alongside the cameras, you must have a smart vehicle tracker. So imagine if the absolute worst happens, if a gang rolls up with a flatbed tow truck and physically hoists the van away while I'm still stretching out Rowan's legs, I need to know where my home is at all times. So if you ring the police and say, my van's been nicked, they'll give you a crime number and tell you to wait. If you ring them and say, my van is in a current position traveling north on the M1 at 60 miles an hour, and here are the live GPS coordinates, they'll actually have something to work with. Always know exactly where your van is. Hide the tracker deep inside the bulkhead where they'll never find it. And finally, we reach layer number 5, the absolute last line of defense, the cabin breach. Now let's paint the worst case scenario. Let's say they've ignored the high-vis jacket, they've ignored the heavy-duty deadbolts, they've drilled through your plates, and they don't care about the CCTV cameras looking right at them. And they've managed to pry the door open and get into your living space. You need an internal motion sensor alarm. The second a thief steps foot inside the cabin, an instant, ear-splattering, loud warning goes off. I'm talking 120 decibels of pure pain bouncing off the insulated walls. It completely disorientates them. It alerts everyone on the site or in a 100-meter radius, and most importantly, it ruins their entire plan. Thieves thrive in silence and the dark. They hate noise and they despise attention. When that internal alarm trips, 99 times out of 100, they panic and they run for the hills empty-handed. So living full-time stealth means you're often parked in places where nobody is coming to help you. It's just you, the van, and in my case, Rowan. Now she's a good girl and she'll bark if someone knocks. But I'm not relying on a cocker spaniel to fight off a bloke armed with a bloody crowbar. Having this 5-layer system in my new windowless build means I can fire up the PlayStation and put the diesel heater on and completely switch off from the outside world without checking the mirrors every 5 minutes. Peace of mind is the most expensive thing you can buy in van life, but having a setup like this makes it achievable. I get asked all the time in some comments and on the road how I actually afford to keep the diesel tank full, buy all this heavy duty security gear and sit playing the PlayStation in the back of the van without grafting on a freezing, muddy building site for 60 hours a week. Now, the honest truth is, I fund this whole lifestyle through affiliate marketing. Completely changed the game for me. It's not just some sleazy sales pitch or get rich quick scheme. It's just a genuine, solid way to make a living remotely. So if you're sick to your teeth of the grind and you want to see exactly how I make an income on the road, this is exactly how I learned all my skills to be doing what I'm doing today. I will send you a completely free 7-day fast track training video series explaining how it all works from the ground up. I'll leave a link down in the description if you want to check it out. There's no pressure at all. It's just there in case you want an escape room. So that is the master blueprint. Visual deception, so they don't even bother trying. Physical barriers, so they can't get in. Exterior armour to protect the factory weak spots. Cameras to see them coming in the dark, and a deafening alarm if they actually manage to breach the walls. You don't have to live in fear out here. You just have to be smarter and better prepared for the bloody scumbags trying to take whatever you've built. So if you want the actual unfiltered truth about full-time van life in the UK, and you want to follow along as I start building this new Luton box van into a proper stealth fortress, then hit that bloody subscribe button right now. We're building a proper community of realists here. All the security gear I've talked about today is linked in the description below, and a Ko-Fu link for Rowan's Treats is down there too, if you fancy buying her a bone. But before you lot clear off, YouTube seems to think you might really like one of these next. Give it a watch to see exactly what goes on into the rest of the build, and I'll see you over there. Stay safe. Cheers.